This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 224 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
And I'm up.
You
for
are
the
up.
Summer.
Such an exciting
The
day.
whole summer I'm up.
I so prefer you next to me.
Up in the Northeast. Well, come the fall, it'll be hit or miss again.
Yeah, I feel great about
here.
it though. I still like you right now, so.
All right. Well, yeah, by the end of the summer, it'll be.
Give me 2 episodes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Racket number 1, something that I took a poll on my Instagram.
I love it. I didn't see it, but.
At Byron Lazine. If we're not connected on IG, make sure we are. I'll give the poll results here in a second. But it's off of this article, CNBC article. We'll link it up as always. Home listings suddenly jump as sellers worry they may miss out on the red hot housing market.
Yes.
So here are the key stats, takeaways, key points, as CNBC calls them. The supply of homes for sales jumped 9%. Supply of homes for sale, rather, jumped 9% last week compared with the same week 1 year ago, according to Realtor.com.
Yep.
So 9% up from same week 1 year ago. Inventory, right? Inventory is going up.
Which I guess if you really look at the numbers, like 9%, like what are we talking about?
We're talking about for every 10 homes, there's an 11th one on the market, basically. Yeah. So that's a for every 100 homes, there's 10 more. So it's adding supply to the market, or 109.
Based on last year, yeah.
Yeah, based on last year. Real estate brokerage Redfin also reported that the new listings rose nearly twice as fast in the 4 weeks ended May 15th as they did during the same period a year ago. So new listings twice as fast. So again, inventory. Pending home sales, a measure of signed contracts on existing homes, dropped nearly 4% in April, month to month, and were down just over 9% from April 2021, according to NAR. So you have less homes selling, more homes coming on the market. So inventory going up and total transactions going down. So that is widening the gap.
Well, we're talking
there
about 2 different months though, so it'll be interesting to see what the May months bring us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So sharply higher mortgage rates have caused a sudden pullback on home sales, and now sellers are rushing to get in before the red hot market cools off dramatically. So I thought this was interesting. I went to IG.
Have you talked to any potential sellers lately? That is their number one concern.
Yeah, they're concerned. Did I miss it? Do I got to get on right now?
Again, a lot of people that I'm working with right now don't live here right now, and they're rushing back to pack up their things and to get it on the market.
I think it's a big concern. I think it's a valid concern. We'll get into that in just a second. I took the headline of the CNBC article, put it in my Instagram story, and I asked many of you. Okay. And I got a bunch of replies. So these were all agent replies.
What was the question?
The question is, in your local market, listings are up was one option, down, or the same.
Compared to what? Like week over week? Was there
I just said currently, right now, in general.
Okay.
Right, like right now.
How are you feeling about it?
How you feeling? What's the data in your MLS say?
Okay. And
so 67% of people, or 64 of the votes. So we had about 100 people here that filled out the poll.
For an hour? That's not bad. Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. So 64 votes said up.
Up.
So listings are up. Okay. 14 people said they were down, and 17 said they're just the same as they've been, throughout this spring market, basically. So, 64% of people, 64, it was 67% rather. Yeah. Almost 7 out of 10 people agents say that listings are up in their market. I just saw an Instagram reel, I think it was, or TikTok from Paige Steckling, agent out in Utah. Shout out to Paige. She just did a whole reel saying the days of Jason Cassidy just did an Instagram reel on this. Shout out to Jason. The days of putting your house on the market and expecting 20 offers in every price range in every situation are over. That's not happening right now.
Well, so I agree with that. I do think though that you can probably expect 2. I mean, you're still going to be getting potentially multiple offers, just not as many.
It's going to be location driven.
And not as quickly, though. Right. Not as quickly. I think you're looking at an extended period of time.
It's going to be location driven. It's going to be price driven. Yes. It's not every price category that's going to get those 2 offers. Yeah. In many markets, if you're a million.
You only really need 1, but.
If you're a million and up, are you expecting 2 offers?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think it'll be like I think here you could still expect multiple offers, but just not as many, and I don't think as quickly. But I think it's all
certainly not as quickly. One of our agents said, "Oh my gosh, I put a house on the market.
It lasted the weekend.
It was like day 4, day 5. No, they didn't have an offer. There was not one offer by day 4 or day 5.
But by day 7, she had 2.
Okay, but she's like, my sellers are asking me what's wrong. They're like, Is it online?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you have, but those are conversations you have to be having now while you're taking the listings.
The sellers, the homeowner, they were flabbergasted. They couldn't believe that with everything they've heard about in this market. So was she, though.
She was like taken aback.
She was taken aback.
Oh, I got yelled at the other day. They said that I was too close to the microphone.
Who said that?
Some lady. Woman.
Let's shout out to the lady who yelled at Nicole.
Shout out to the woman. Thank you for giving me the feedback. I just remembered.
Let's let her have it in the comments. Let Nicole have it. Just give her all.
She said maybe take 2 steps back. But I thought for sure she meant like get the hell off the podcast. Like we don't want you, because like 2 steps. That's like out the door.
Yeah, maybe 20 steps, Nicole. Get over there. So
he's not a producer.
She's Bobby's offended that.
I was gonna say, I'm like, isn't that my editing end? My editing end is clearly failing. But anyway.
So sellers expect, because they've been seeing this red hot market, and there are sellers shooting for the moon that are going to hurt themselves in terms of like not getting a lot of offers, because if they're just way out of, based on their price, pushing the price, but they're going to expect it, and it's not where we're at today. Interest rates are the highest they've been. There are more homes coming on the market than we've seen in the last. We're still not in an inventory like even situation where it's a normalized market. We're still a pretty decent ways away from that. But there's buyer fatigue we're dealing with. So some buyers have dropped out. Yeah. There's some buyers have just been forced out because they can't afford it anymore. Right. So having those conversations up front with homeowners and letting them know, like, you may want to, if you were planning on having the house for the summer, you may want to cancel those plans and get on the market today if price is more important than lifestyle for
sure.
you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of conversations that everyone should be having. It's funny. I remember years ago, our coach, Jason, made me start keeping a journal of each month, because I was walking into the coaching calls being nervous about things. And it's consistent that every June of my business has always been slower. Again, I have closings, but like new business coming in has always been a little. So it's interesting to see that listings are going up, because for my business, June has always been a little slower, right? College graduations, high school graduations, schools ending. So again, I'm still kind of interested to see how like June then ends up turning out. Like again, we're talking about additional listings, but sales are down. Are those going to stay? I mean, there's so many things at work here.
But you're saying for you personally, but that is counterintuitive to the Connecticut market. You're a Connecticut agent.
I have a lot of closings in June, but again, in terms of new business, like active, but again, a lot of my business slows in June.
Right. No, I'm saying you personally, but that is not the market that you work in.
Maybe.
No, the stats don't show. I could show you on the MLS, right? So I think knowing what the market is, and then you personally having that data would tell you, like, if you're in a situation like that, like Nicole, where you're tracking, okay, boom, June is a slow month for me. Well, April needs to be a more aggressive month on my prospecting. May needs to be a more aggressive month
for sure
on my prospecting to turn June around. Yeah. Especially in this market, because there are a lot of activity in this market in June. I hear what you're saying. If you're working with a lot of people that are in a school system, then June's going to be slower for sure. Yeah. And so then changing your prospecting.
Again, closings are, I mean, a bang up month for June, but in terms of
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys think? I'd love to know, maybe you missed that poll, obviously, on the Instagram.
Well, it's still going to be there for 24 more hours.
No, this was last week I put it up.
Oh, I thought you said this morning.
No, I put it up last week. Oh. So, that's why you said an hour. No, it's 24 hours.
Okay.
So anyways, love to know from you in the comments. Are listings up? Is inventory up in your market? Where's your market, and is inventory up? All right. You know what is up, Nicole?
I know what's up. Hello, Tomo.
Hello, Tomo is what's up. HelloTomo.com. Make sure you send your clients over there for another opinion on their mortgage. You may be unfamiliar with Tomo. You should get familiar with Tomo, because they're a mortgage without your clients losing their marbles. I want all my marbles. I'm working out every day to make sure I have my marbles deep into my hundreds. I plan on living, Nicole.
Wait, marbles deep into your hundreds?
Yeah, I want all my marbles, all my faculties. Until
there's a lot of words coming
105 years old.
105
at least maybe longer.
I don't,
depending on. Shout out to Tom Ferry. I just got my Aura ring. He bought me an Aura ring.
Been flash. I was asking if you were going to flash it, and I've been noticing you are.
This is going to be.
It's like jazz hands.
One of the things that helps me.
And now it's following how many calories he's burning. So I think he thinks if he moves his hands,
I'm burning more calories.
It's
going to be one of the things that helps me keep my marbles and live longer. But if you just care about your clients and you want them to keep their marbles, you want them to have a great home buying experience, send them over to Tomo. Tomo, they have the best deal guaranteed. They make strong offers. They make your offer stronger. And they close on time, Nicole.
98% of the time they close on time.
98% of Tomo loans close on time. Industry average is 40%. Hit our link below or send your clients over to Hello Tomo. Mortgage industry is very competitive, and they're the best deal in the business right now. So send your clients over to hellotomo.com or copy the link below. All right, racket number 2.
I wore my Tomo sweatshirt again this weekend. I get so many compliments on it. I'll bring it.
It's a great
It's
sweatshirt.
a great color. It's like I know we talk about it every week, but
we need Tomo. Since you stole my Tomo sweatshirt, send me some more gear.
Well, we all need more gear.
Yeah, Tomo, hook us up. All right, racket number 2, Inman article. Jimmy Burgess wrote the article. Jimmy's YouTube and articles on Inman have been straight fire. So shout out to Jimmy if you guys are checking any of those out, and we'll link this one up. How Masterminds helped this office close 13,400 transactions. So Vince Lisi, founder and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate, believes masterminding is the number one thing agents should commit to for success in their business. So founder, CEO of this BHHS branch, which is located in Omaha, Nebraska.
I love it.
Is that Warren Buffett? Omaha? Warren Buffett?
I think so.
I think it is. Fact check me on that, Bobby. I'd like to know here in real time. So he's saying this is the one thing all agents need to be successful right now. Okay, so what should you look for? Let's go through.
Yeah, the Omaha house for Warren.
Omaha for Warren. Perfect.
Huh.
Omaha never.
It's a win for
Warren
today.
never sells, so he can't.
It's a win for today.
He can sell his house. All right. What do you think agents should look for in the group to join? Number 1, is the group made up of similar production level agents? I'm going to maybe debate that a little bit.
I'll debate that one too.
Number 2, does the group meet regularly? Can you commit to attending every week? Does the group have a strong leader? Does the group have proven results? So number 1 is a group made up of similar production levels. I think that you've got to be on a similar path. Okay.
Right.
So my mastermind that I've been a part of for a number of years, there's 9 of us. We capped it at 9. It's all team leaders.
Yep.
So you can't be in the group if you're not a team leader. But when I joined the group, I was 8 or 9 in terms of our production level for our team. Yep. And that group's helped me.
But you have the same vision, though.
Had the same vision, and the vision was we're all going to be team leaders.
Yeah.
We're all going to be investing in our growth with coaching. We're all part of Tom Ferry ecosystem in terms of coaching. I believe all 9 are. We're all going to be hiring employees, investing in our business.
Right, recruiting.
I got into that mastermind because somebody made a commitment who was in it prior to hiring a certain employee by a certain date, and they didn't make that hire, and they got thrown out of the group. Accountability, high levels of accountability. Like you said in 6 months, you were going to make this administrative hire. You didn't do it. You're out.
You're out.
You're out of the group. You're not committed the same level that we are. So you got to go.
Have they been trying to get back in?
No, he's gone. And he's out of the mastermind.
I know, but like, is he knocking on the door?
No,
is he in the waiting
out.
room
We've
every
capped
week?
it at 9.
I'd be in the waiting room.
There's no more people ask to get in part of this mastermind all the time.
I'm sure
it's capped out.
Yeah.
All right. So similar level of production. I think you got to be on a similar path. But Heck, when I joined that mastermind, we were under $100 million in production,
Yes.
and you had Jill Biggs, Josh Rubin over 300. So
Yeah.
we had a gap in terms of production.
Well, but again, I mean, Lisa Chinati was a huge part of your
Lisa
business
Chinati
plan
was
too, because you were
huge.
watching what she was doing and trying to, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you agree with that? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if it's all the same production, who's pushing who then? Like, how are you getting better?
Yeah.
How are you helping others get better? But I don't.
The hardest spot to be in a mastermind is the person at the top in terms of production.
Potentially though, but I think it was sort of, so you were talking about it. We onboarded some new agents today, and you were talking about that Berkshire CEO and how he's.
We're going to talk about Gino in just a minute.
Okay.
Because go ahead.
Yeah, and how he is like always taking notes and learning and all. And I think even if you're at the top, I think it's good to sort of reflect on below, because you lose sight sometimes. You think that your way is the right way and the only way, and I think it's good to continue to.
I would argue that if you're the top production level in your mastermind, you probably need an accountability partner or a coach or another mastermind that is way, way ahead of you to keep pulling you up. You want to keep getting pulled up.
Or you start seeing, the Byron Lazines moving up from the 8th person in that group to the 6th to the 4th. And then that might be driving
that pushes
them
you
too,
as well,
for
too.
sure.
For sure. Yeah. All right, number 2, does the group meet regularly? You have to have a consistent schedule, no question about it.
Yep.
Does the group have a strong leader? The leader or the structure in the group, right? So like our mastermind of 9 technically doesn't have, I would say, one leader. We have more of a structure, regular meetings, and more of a structure about how we go about our business. I would agree, though.
Is there one leader each meeting, though, like depending on what topic you're talking about?
Sometimes we'll do that. If it's an important week, we'll say, okay, so this person's going to kind of like, be the facilitator of the meeting.
Yeah.
Maybe a Josh Rubin or something. Anybody mastermind will get a chuckle out of that. But no, in reality, Josh does kind of play that role sometimes and kind of just facilitate the conversation so it's going in the right direction. Does the group have proven results? I think that's important, but if you're just starting out, you're not going to have those proven results like anything you want to track and measure. Now, I want to go to the bottom of this article. So here is the format that they're following. It's modeled from the book, 4 Disciplines of Execution. This is straight Gino Blafari. You mentioned Gino, the CEO of all BHHS, which is why I think this particular broker CEO is using this. It's trickling down from Gino's so passionate about this format for a mastermind, for a meeting with your leadership team. It's quite similar to our EOS L10. It's got a structure to it. It's how Gino runs a bunch of his leadership masterminds. Number 1, your WIG, your wildly important goals. If you're in EOS, those could be your
like rocks.
Your rocks, exactly. So what's your WIG in terms of transactions, volume by this date, right? So we do EOS. We like say the next 90 days, we're going to accomplish X, Y, and Z. They're saying my WIG, wildly important goal, is to accomplish X by this date. Okay. So stating the WIG at the beginning of every single meeting, group session.
Yeah. Like, are you
super
on track?
Important.
Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
On track, off track. Next, you say last week, my lead measure was to have blank conversations. So even if you're a CEO, you're tracking your conversations. Okay. It might be recruiting. It might be one-on-ones. It might be whatever the case may be. My second lead measure was to X. My third lead measure was to Y. This week, I accomplished or did not accomplish these lead measures. So on track, off track, on those measures that are going to equal
which is like your scorecard. We do scorecards. Yeah.
In the US, we do the scorecard. The third metric, each person reports. So this could be agents, this could be your agents. If you're a leader or a broker, this could be your leadership team that's doing this. So any level this would work for. This week, I took X listings. It could be X recruits, whatever. Change that. Had X amount of contracts go pending with this number of volume, close blank transactions for a total of blank volume. So you're just stating those numbers, okay? Next week, my lead measure will be to have this many conversations, second and third lead measure. So you're stating your commitments.
Right.
Accountability group.
For sure.
These are the 3 things I'm committed to for this week.
Yep. And is he encouraging people to sort of reach out during the week in between these meetings?
Everybody has an accountability partner
Perfect, yeah.
for the week.
I think that's the most important part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So having that accountability partner check in, and you're checking in on them, holding each other accountable. And then finally you state at the end of the meeting, to make myself a better realtor this week, I will do X. You know, it could be it could be the fitness, it could be, you know,
the Aura ring.
Could be the Aura ring.
Mm-hmm.
It could be reading a book.
Referring 4 people to Tomo. Yeah.
It could be going to hellotomo.com. Could be any of those things. Yeah. Right. Could be joining us at the Tom Ferry Summit using our BAM link, which is on the resources page, brokeagent.com.
Wow. I'm just learning of this.
Joining us at the Dallas Tom Ferry Summit in August. That could be something you do to make yourself a better agent.
Did you buy our tickets yet?
I bought, our tickets to the summit have been purchased, yes.
Our flights.
And you can buy tickets too by going on our resources on BAM.
Did you buy our flights?
Our flights, yeah. Our flights. Link it in the description. There you go, Bobby. All right. Marketeer of the week.
Marketeer of the week. Brian. That's my husband.
That could have been the marketeer, that Jimmy Burgess article, but
Byron got a gift.
We're going,
and I was purposely excluded,
with the new Chris Smith book, The Conversion Code. Chris Smith has he's written 4 best-selling books. Shout out Chris. Chris was just on the walkthrough. If you haven't checked out that pod on Broke Agent Media, go check it out as well. He sent me
the VIP,
the VIP copy.
The VIP.
All right, so I want to just read the little note he wrote.
He wrote a note.
I love this. Love note. I don't know if you can. You can't zoom in because you're sitting way over there. Stop chasing leads, start attracting clients. I want to talk about that in a little bit. But so Chris writes, congrats on the launch of BAM. Well, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, Broke Agent Media.
He didn't even write BAM though.
He did write BMA, but that's okay. I know what he was talking about. BAM,
I feel like I like BMA. It reminds me like a little bit like WWE.
We like BAM. If you haven't subscribed to Broke Agent Media on YouTube, please make sure you do that. Yeah. I'm very excited to see what you guys can accomplish and look forward to supporting that journey. I also appreciate you and Nicole having me on the podcast. We had him when we were doing the confessionals for the Real World.
Yep.
We had him on a confessional. He says, even though she had no idea who I was, so no VIP copy for her.
No VIP copy
for me. I'll share this book with you.
I feel like I knew who he was once we got on the call.
Yeah.
I needed a little, I didn't know.
Hope you love my new book. He says this is the best work of his career.
Of course it is. He's not going to be like, the last book was better than this book.
Give me a little highlighter.
That's silly. He's trying to get you to highlighter.
Yeah. So the book is already a national bestseller. It is the.
You don't even need me. We'll just do this.
Yeah, there you go. It is the Conversion Code. I haven't jumped into it yet, but I'm really excited. This is the second edition. So the first one was the national bestseller, completely revised and updated for today. Everything you need to know about building your brand. Now, here's the big thing. I love what he's like. Stop chasing leads, start attracting clients. Yes. Okay. The big takeaway there is, if you're not building your brand on social today, the way your audience is consuming it, we're talking a lot about Reels and TikToks and all of these types of things. If you're not doing that, you're going to be in a really hard spot over these next couple of years. I believe, Nicole, that agents are going to flock to safety over the next couple of years. Agents are going to realize that, oh my gosh, there are less home shoppers, going back to the first racket we just talked about. There are less home shoppers in the market over these next 24 months. There may be more inventory, but there's less transactions that are happening. We're already seeing less transactions in 2022 than we saw in 2021. When there are less shoppers, there's less activity on sites like Zillow and Redfin and Realtor. We're already seeing less activity. Okay, so there's going to be less online leads for everybody to share. When that happens, agents that want to stay in this business, they're going to flock to safety. They're going to go to the best teams that know how to generate leads. They're going to go to the best teams that are helping support their clients, or their agents rather, build the brand that is relevant today. They're going to go to the places, and if you're an agent listening, you should be thinking about this. If you're not in the right place, that's going to help them actually build that brand. You should be focusing yourself on, how do I get more video content out there? How do I get more short form, consumable content out there? And how do I engage with my community, both on social and in real life, by doing the things that are important to them to create the relationships necessary to make it through the next 24 months. Because online leads are going to be a whole heck of a lot more scarce, I believe, over the next 2 years.
Well, I'm excited to read the book.
You're going to read it because I'm going to share it with you.
Well, that's my hope.
This is
Oh, look, he signed it for you too. Oh, that
Girl,
looks
I
like my
like that.
signature.
I like that.
Congratulations.
If you're not following
That's
Chris,
amazing.
by the way,
Yeah.
on Instagram, make sure you do it, because a whole bunch of these
graphs.
these graphs and charts
Byron loves
that
graphs.
are in the book,
Just give him a book of graphs. Like, it can be like a picture book.
they're directly
Loves
from
them.
the book, and he's putting them up on IG. They look beautiful. Aren't they
Yes.
beautiful?
They're black and white. Yep, they're beautiful.
They're like very appealing to
They're
the
very
eye.
appealing. You enjoy them.
I just randomly opened up to page 133.
It's great.
And I'm going to read a couple stats
Please.
off of this, okay? 74% of people would prefer to communicate with a human when contacting a business. So something to think about when you're setting up your automation. 3% of people prefer a chat bot.
Oh.
23% of people prefer a cyborg, human and chatbot. I'd be in the 23%.
I would too. I liked a little chat box in the bottom to like get some
Well,
things answered first before I commit to a person.
I'm thinking of my Delta app. Was the national Delta app has an ability
Ooh,
for
Delta
me
had
to,
a terrible weekend. Did you see all those cancellations?
No,
Holy hell.
but shout out to Delta. They're still the
We
best
love Delta,
airline
yeah,
commercially.
Of course.
Delta has an option where you can start texting them. So you talk to a chatbot at first, but I can tell the chatbot, boom, here's my information.
Yeah.
And now get me a representative on this chat. They'll tell me how long I'm going to be waiting. They get a representative. Now I have a representative in the chat. I never call Delta for changes anymore. I only go through the text
Chatbot,
messaging
yeah.
service.
I like it.
And they'll either, hey, I'm curious about upgrading to first class.
I mean, that's
I want to change this flight. I want to cancel
probably your number
a
one
flight.
question, huh? It's like a Google search. It's like
No.
Byron's Delta search.
Usually I'm doing the chat box for a cancellation, which means I'm going into another flight,
Yeah.
which means I'm sitting, middle between somebody's dog and their kid or something
Their
like that.
dog.
Yeah, I just had a flight where I sat next to a dog.
Really?
Absolutely.
You
want to talk about rackets? You want to talk about rackets? Complete
Total
racket
racket.
on a flight.
That's
They should
funny.
they should be required to buy the entire row. Okay,
Wow.
that's how I feel about that.
Okay, well,
Love my dogs out there. Love my dog people.
Your
Love
dog
all
people
of you guys.
that love your dogs.
And I love my
We
dog
love the
people.
dog people,
I'm a big dog.
not the
people person.
dogs. Anyway,
congrats, Chris.
congrats. That's
on the
amazing.
book.
Thank you for my book.
Yeah, I will share my copy with Nicole. I'd encourage you guys all to go out there and get it. He's brilliant when it comes to the marketing data that we need to help build our brand and service our clients at a higher level. Really would love to hear from you in the comments again on what is happening in your market with listings. I looked through the locations, Nicole, on
Yes.
some of the people that said, nope, listings are down.
Yeah.
Like Naples, Florida was one of them. Made sense to me because I know that market. Arlington, Virginia was one of them. That's DC-ish, so that would make sense. A lot of people, are always in and out of that area.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That one kind of made sense to me. I don't know much about that market.
Well, we also don't know what these individuals are comparing it to. Like, is it last year? Are they looking at under contracts compared to listings? Are they looking at last month?
I may put up that poll again and just say, hey, from last month.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like
And
you
get
need to have it. Needs to be a little bit clearer.
So when we run a real word clip, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
And love for you guys to consider subscribing to Broke Agent Media on YouTube. That's where all of the real word is now hosted. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, love a review from you and a subscribe over on YouTube. If you shall consider that, I would really greatly appreciate it.
Greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you next week. I'll be back in person with Nicole.
I love it.
All right. Keep it real.
See you guys.